Hello, Beta. Welcome back. I am Sakshi Kesharwal. I'm math expert in askIITians. So today we'll be learning. We have done the surface area of what cube, cuboid, cylinder, sphere, and cone, right? So we have done everything till now. Now today we'll be discussing about the volume, right? So let's get started into it. Okay. So we are starting with what, Beta? The volume today, right? So we today the topics which we'll be covering. We'll be covering We'll be covering the volume of a cuboid, volume of cylinder, and volume of a right circular cone. And in the next class, we'll be discussing about the volume of the sphere and the volume of what beta, uh, volume of sphere and a cone, right? It's right circular cone, right? Okay, I think so. There's some mistake over here. So let's see. Okay, so it's like cube, cuboid, and cylinder. And the next class we'll be discussing about the volume of the sphere and the combined figures, right? So yes, the three figures we have and cube, cuboid, and like cube also, right? You can say like these are the like cone, these are sphere, these are cube, these are cuboid, and these are what cylinders, right? We have everything, right? So let's discuss what it is, like everything. So if you just see this thing, like the amount of the space measured in the cubic units, right? They are the objects or the substance occupied is called as what beta. Like you see that if you have any type of a big container or something like that, that is the volume, that is the space contained in it, right? It's not a two-dimensional. Two-dimensional means what? Anything like a flat surface or something like it has an area, right? Like if you just open it, something that's going to be like that. Okay, so uh, two-dimensional does not have volume but only have an area, right? So let's talk about the area of what is the volume of a cuboid. The volume of a cuboid is being given by LBH, that is L into breadth into height, like length into breadth into height, right? So this is how we get this area, right? And if I talk about that is a volume of a cube, so volume of cube is equals to what? Volume of cube with side length is equals to A. The volume will be given by what? Volume is given by A into A, which is equals to what? Volume is equals to what? A cube, right? This is the volume of all of them. So now let's go on the questions, right? So if you see, like if you talk about the volume, like if you take a single sheet of paper and then you a single sheet of paper is what? Having length and breadth, one area. And if you just keep on increasing the height, like number of the sheets, when you have like stacked it up, it will get height or not. So its volume will become what? Length into breadth, like length into breadth. Like if you take up one single sheet, like if you take one single sheet, I'll explain it to you. If you are going to take one single sheet like this, right? If you're going to take one single sheet and just you piled it up like more of the sheets in it, so this is having an area, right? And when you give the height to this area, this will give you what? A volume or not? You will give the height and this will become a volume. So the books which you have is like known as what beta? Like these are having the volumes, right? So let's discuss this. It says that the internal dimensions of the wooden cuboid are in the length 30 centimeter into 25 centimeter, and this if the thickness of the wood is 2 centimeter all around, find the volume of the cuboid form. Now what is the volume? Volume is going to be what? That how much wood is used. Wood is used, yes or no? So how much wood is going to use? It's going to be what? External volume minus the internal volume. But if you're going to like take the external volume and then subtract this inner, like you see this open box, if you subtract it, then you will get how much wood is being like required, how much wood you have used or not, how much volume of the wood is used. So basically the volume of the wood will be how much beta? The volume of, like, find the volume of the wood. It will be what beta? Volume of wood is equals to what? Outer volume, right? Outer volume minus inner volume, right or not? Inner volume, yes or no? So outer volume, so if we let's talk about outer volume, right? Both are cuboids, right? So outer cuboid minus inner cuboid. So let's talk this as cuboid, outer cuboid and inner cuboid, right? Cuboid, right? So just see this. So let's talk about the outer cuboid, right? So outer cuboid dimensions, right? So it will be what? With a length, breadth, and this is your height. So length, breadth, height is already given. Let's take this as what? 30 centimeter. This has 25 centimeter and this has what beta? 20 centimeter. So its volume will be how much beta? L into B into H, which is equals to what beta? 30 into 25 into what beta? 20. So which is equals to what beta? 600 into 25, which is equals to what? Volume is equals to what? Volume is equals to, I think so. I'm like somewhere I writing wrong. So volume is equals to like 15000 centimeter cube, right or not? Now let's talk about the inner volume, right? So inner cuboid, inner cuboid dimensions, right? So your length will be what? So if you have a thickness, now let us suppose, let's take an example, right? So this is your length, this is 30 centimeter, right? And this is inner, like it says that from 2 centimeter, this is 2 centimeter and this is your 2 centimeter. So your length will become how much, beta? 26 or not? Like taking the 2 from this side and taking the 2 from this side. So your length will become what? 30 minus of 4, which is equals to what? 26, right? Breadth will equals to what, beta? 25 minus of 4, which is equals to 21, and height is equals to what? 20 minus of 4, which is equals to 16. So your volume will be equals to what? LBH, which is equals to what? 26 into 21 into 16, right? Now you do the calculation. So over here, I did the calculation. So calculation is equals to how much, beta? It's 8736 centimeter cube, right? So total volume is equals to how much, beta? Total volume is equals to, you just subtracted. So 15,000 minus of 8,736, which is equals to how much, beta? 6,264 centimeter cube. This is your answer, right? So write it down, this thing. It says that yeah, done writing. Now we have the solutions. I think so very properly it's written. How you can just write it down. I just got a one single page. You have very things you can just write it down, right? Now just see. Let's coming to the volume of a cylinder. Now let's take a stat. Now what you take, how the volumes are, like cylinder is formed. If you take a single coin, right? If you take a single circle, like a circle, like a flat circle which does not have a thickness, right? And then you start piling up, piling up, piling up, piling up, piling up, piling up, right? So what is an area of a circle? If you take one circle, its area is going to be what, beta? Pi r square. When you have given the height to it, it will become what? Pi r square into h. Yes or no? Base area into height. Yes or no? From there we get the volume of the cylinder. The volume of the cylinder, if you're going to take one circle from here, right, and then take the other circle from here, then take the other circle, then take the other circle, just keep a piling up. So you will get what, beta? Volume. That is volume is equals to what, beta? Pi r square h. Now let's talk about the hollow cylinder, right? So what is the hollow cylinder, right? Hollow cylinder, right? Let's talk about the hollow cylinder. I am not very good at drawing, so just try to understand what I want to draw, right? Yeah. Very bad. Right. Just see this. This is going to be what, your inner radius r, and this is going to be your what, outer radius, right? So I'll write this as what, beta? Inner radius, that it will be what, having inner radius is equals to what, small r, and outer radius is equals to how much, beta? The outer radius is equals to what, capital R. Now I'll show you this bottle, right? Can you see this? I have this bottle in front of you. So this is what, a hollow. So here you have the red part, and here you have what, beta? Here you have what, you see that there's a silver part inside, right? So you see that this is having a thickness, right? So there will be a radius of the inner circle, and there will be a radius for the what, beta? Outer circle, right? Now let's talk about the CSA, right? So CSA will be equals to what? The outer rated part, yes or no? The outer red part, that will be what, beta? Outer CSA plus inner CSA, yes or no? This is like inner CSA, right or not? So outer CSA is what, beta? So outer CSA is equals to what? 2 pi capital RH, right? Plus height remains the same. This is what, your height, right or not? This is your height, this is your radius r, and this one is your height. So it will be what? 2 pi small rh. So if you take the common, it will be what? 2 pi h common r plus r, right? Now let's talk about, this is what, beta? CSA, right? If you are going to just put it in the box, right? Now let's talk about the thickness. How much will be the thickness? Thickness is equals to what? Outer minus the inner radius, right? So thickness is given by what, beta? Outer radius minus of inner radius. That's it. Capital R minus small r, right? Now let's talk about the TSA. TSA will generally have the CSA, the above CSA 100%. So CSA plus there are two rings. That ring on the top, there will be a ring on the top and there will be a ring at the bottom, right or not? So plus two times area of ring, right or not? Area of ring. So it is equals to what, beta? 2 pi h r plus r, right? Is equals to 2 times area of ring is equals to what? Pi r square minus of pi r square, right? So you can just do the calculation. It will be what? 2 pi h r plus r, right? And this is what? 2 pi common. This is a square minus of b square r plus r. And this is what? R minus of r, right? So you see that 2 pi r plus r is what common. So it is what? 2 pi r plus r is common. So you'll be left with what? H plus r minus of r. That's it. You got it. So this is the TSA of your cylinder, right? Right. Now let's coming to the volume of cone. See, volume, as I told you, the cone is being formed by the moving of like a right circle, like by a right angle triangle, right? So this is what the volume of the cone is being given by the formula. Volume is given by 1 by 3 of pi r square of h. You will see that the volume of the cone is like one-third the volume of the cylinder, and you can do the same proving with having the same radius and the height. We do this proving. There are so many videos available, and yes, we do this proving as a part of the CBSE and NCRT. We do such in school. We do such, right? So we see that the volume of the cone is what, beta? One-third the volume of what? The cylinder. This is how we have done. What we did, we made a cone of the same radius and we took a cylinder of the same radius, and the height of the cone and the height of the cylinder remains the same. Then we just check that we have to pour 3 times the water in the cylinder to get it fill exactly. So we got that the volume of the cone is what, beta? 1/3 the volume of the cylinder, right? So we take only the right circular cylinder only, right? Okay, now let's do the questions. Okay, what are the questions? It says that the curved surface area of the cylindrical pillar is to 264 meters square and the volume is like 924 meters square. Find the diameter and the height of the pillar. What is given? That is CSA. We are talking about the cylinder. So CSA is equals to what, beta? 264, and TSA is equals to how much, beta? Sorry, it's not TSA, it's volume. Volume is equals to how much, beta? Volume is equals to what, beta? 924 meter cube, right? This is cube and this is square, meter square, right? So what is a CSA? It is equals to what? 2 pi RH is equals to what? 264, and volume is equals to what, beta? Pi r square of h. If you are very good at the observation, can you write this as pi r square? H is equals to what, beta? 264 divided by 2. So pi r square, pi r h is equals to what, beta? 132. And now just give a close observation over here. Can I write this as pi r h into r is equals to what? 924. Now can you just substitute this value over here? So 132 into r is equals to what, beta? 924. So r is equals to what? 924 divided by what, beta? 132, right or not? Yes. So just check that 132 into 7 time, right? So if you just multiply 132 into 7, like 14, 14, go one carry 7 into 3, 21, 22, 22. Yes. So yes, R is equals to what, beta? 7. Yes. R is equals to what? 7. So we got the radius. So diameter will be how much, beta? Let's just check. Yeah. So the diameter will be equals to how much? Diameter is equals to how much, beta? 2 times into 7, which is equals to what? 14 meter. This is your first answer. Now you have to find the height. So you can find the height by putting any of the answers. So I'll put it in the CSA. CSA is like more easy to put, right? So CSA is equals to how much, beta? 264, which is equals to what? 2 pi RH into what? 264. Now we have 2 into 22 by 7 into R, that is 7 into H is equals to what? 264. So 7 and 7 cancel this and cancel, that is 132. So H is equals to what, beta? 132 divided by 22, which is equals to what? H is equals to what? 6 meter. So you got both the answer. Just write it down, beta. Yeah, this is like presentation, you have it. Now let's do the next question. It says that if the area of three adjacent faces of the cuboid, it's 8 centimeters square, 18 centimeters square, 25 centimeters square, find the volume of the cube. So when you have a cuboid, right? So adjacent faces means what? You have like three faces, right? So if you're going to make this, and this, right? So let's take this bottom, let's take the side, and let's take the back, right? So bottom is like bottom area is like this is like L, this is L, this is B, and this is H, right? So bottom is like 8, side is what 18, and this is back is what 25. So the bottom area will be what beta? Given is what bottom area. Let's take let bottom area is equals to how much beta? It's given like 8 meter square, centimeter square, right? Which is equals to what? L into B, right or not? Now, side area, these are the three adjacent sides. So side area is equals to how much beta? 18 centimeters square, which is equals to what? B into H, right or not? B into H. Now, let's take the back area, right? Or back or front or whatever you feel like. So I'm taking back area, right? So back area is equals to how much beta? Back area is equals to what? 25 centimeters square, right? Which is equals to what? B into H, right or not? Now, what is the volume? Volume is equals to what? L into B into H, right? So this is equals to what? 1. This one is 2. This one is 3, right? What you do, I'm just multiplying all these three. So what I'm going to do, multiply 1, 2, and 3, right? So you will get, when you multiply this LB into BH into BH, and I wrote BH, and this is LH. Sorry, this is LH. LH, right? Into LH is equals to what? 8 into 18 into 25, right? So it is what beta? L square into B square into H square. And if you're going to multiply this, so 25 into 8 is what beta? 200 into 18, which is equals to how much beta? LBH ka whole square is equals to what beta? 3600, right? So can I say that LBH is equals to what? 60 ka square, right or not? Right? So LBH is equals to what beta? 60 centimeter cube, which is the volume of the answer, right? Right? So write it down beta, this thing. Done? Okay, let's do this. It says that now this is the next question. It says that a metal cube of edge 12 centimeter is melted and formed into three smaller cubes, right? If the edge of the two smaller cube is like 6 centimeter, 8 centimeter, find the volume of the third. So beta, if you have this much big cube and you're going to melt and form a this is small cube, so what remains the same? Only the volume remains the same. Nothing remains the same. So we say that, let us suppose this is a big cube, right? Like 12 centimeter, right? Which has been like made into like three things, like 3, 1, 2, and like this is 3. So can I say that this is volume, this is volume 1 plus volume 2, and this is what volume 3, and it is having a length of what? 6 centimeter. This one you don't know, like 8 centimeter, and this one you don't know, like this much, right? Question mark. So can I say that this volume, that is a volume of a bigger cube, bigger cube is equals to what? Volume 1 plus volume 2 plus of volume 3, right? And all of them are what? Beta cube. So can I say that this is equals to what? 12 cube is equals to what? 6 cube plus 8 cube plus, let's suppose the size is like x, right? X. So it is going to be what? Beta x cube, right? Or it's like V3, whatever you feel like. So you just do the solving. So it's like 12 cube is how much beta? Like 144. So it's like 1728 is equals to what? 216 plus 512 plus x cube, right? So 1728 is equals to what? 827 plus x cube, right? So this is equals to what beta? 1000 is equals to what beta? X cube. So 10 cube is equals to what? X cube. So x is equals to what? 10 centimeter. That's it. So write it down beta, this thing. Okay. We have this much. Now, like, what is the next question? It says that the ratio between the radius and the base and the height of the cylinder is like this. So radius upon height is equals to what, beta? 2:3. Find the TSA. You have to find what? To find TSA, and its volume is how much, beta? 1617 centimeter cube, and volume is equals to how much? Volume is equals to what? 1617 centimeter cube. So what we can do, so volume formula is what, beta? Pi r square of h is equals to what? 1617, right? So can I write this as, let radius is equals to what, 2x, and height is equals to what, beta? 3x. So what you do, you just substitute. So 22 by 7 into what? 2x square, right? Into 3x is equals to what, beta? 1617, right? So it is equals to what? 22 by 7 into what? 4 into 4x square into 3x is equals to what? 1617, right? So you multiply, this is equals to 22 into 7 is equals to 12 into x cube is equals to what? 1617, right? So you just get it solved. So x cube is equals to what? 1617 into 7 divided by what, beta? 22 into 12, right? So when you do the calculation, when you start doing the calculation, so you will get x cube is equals to what? 15, like 15, right. So see this, you will be getting x cube is equals to what, beta? 343 divided by what, beta? 8. After solving this, I have the solving, right? So x cube is equals to what, beta? 7 by 2 ka whole cube is equals to x cube. So x is equals to what? 3.5, right or not? So your radius will be how much? Your radius is going to be how much? Your radius is going to be what? 2 into x, which is equals to 7 centimeter, and your height is going to be what? 3 into x, which is equals to what? um 3 into 1.25, that's equals to 10.5 centimeter, right? So your TSA, so your TSA is equals to how much, beta? What is the formula of the TSA? TSA is equals to what? Curve surface area plus the area of the two rings, right? So you have the formula is equals to what? 2 pi r h plus of r, right? So you just substitute the volume, that is 2 into 22 by 7 into r, that is 7 plus h plus r is equals to how much, beta? 17.5. You're going to just add it. 7 and 7 cancel out. When you're going to solve this, TSA will comes out to be what, beta? 770 centimeter of square. That is your answer after solving. So write it down, beta, this thing. Done? Now, let's coming to the next question. These are the like practice questions. You can also give a try, like these are the homework, but what we do, we can just solve like out of 4, I'll solve 3 for you, and 1 you can just solve the rest of the part, right? So question number 1, I'm solving over here. It says that if the volume of the room is this and the area of the floor is this, find the height. So it's the room is what? A cuboid, right or not? So volume is given what? LBH is equals to what? 792, and LB, like the area of the floor is what? LB, which is like 132, and you have to find the height. So 132 into H, which is equals to what? 792. So H is equals to how much, beta? 792 divided by what, beta? 132. You do the cancellation. So H is equals to how much, beta? 6 meter. That's your answer, right? Coming to the question number 2. What is the question number 2? A wall has to be built with the length of this, length 8 meter, thickness 3 meter, and height 3 meter. Find the volume. This you can do as homework. Please, you can do this as homework, right? Coming to this, the volume of the cone, which find the volume of the cone with the base radius 8 centimeter and slant height is equals to what, beta? 13 centimeter. So we can do this. We have to find the volume. So we can do this. So what is the question says that find what? Volume, right? Find volume of cone, right? What is given? Given is what? Given may, what is given? The radius and the slant height, right? Given radius is equals to what? Radius is what? 8 meter, right? 8 centimeter. And L is equals to how much, beta? L is 13 centimeter, right? So L is what, beta? 13 centimeter. Sure? Yeah. L is 13. So you have to find. So volume of the cone is what, beta? 1 by 3 pi r square of h. So you need h. You don't need L. So we have one formula that L square is equals to what, beta? H square plus r square. So it is what? 13 square is equals to what? H square plus r square. That is like h square, which is equals to what? 169 minus of 64 is equals to what? H square. So this is 5. And this is 105 is equals to what? H square. So under root 105 is equals to what? H, right? So this is the value of 105. Now you have to just substitute. Now you have the volume, like 105 can be written as what, beta? 21 into 5, right? So it cannot be further breaking, like you cannot be like more simplified. So volume is equals to what? 1 by 3 into 22 by 7 into r square, that is 8 into 8 into h is what? 105, right? So you just do the solving, right? So 22 into a 64 upon 21 into root over 105. So this is your answer. Just simplify and get the answer. That's the volume. So if somewhere what is given, the answer is given in what? Answers are given in the decimals, right? So that you get in like any third form, like root over 105, they would have given you the sum value, or you can just find the root of like root of 105 by solving by the long division method. So root over 105 will be around like 10.1 or 10.2, right? Not more than that, right? So you can just find it out this value and just solve it. So this is your answer, meter cube, right? It's centimeter cube, right? Now write it on beta this thing. Now, what is the question number 4? Calculate the volume of the cylinder having the height and the base radius this, and take pi values equals to 22 by 7. So you have to find the height is 20 and the radius is 14. So question number 4, how you will be solving? It's given like you have to find like height is equals to how much? H is equals to what? 20 centimeter, and the radius is equals to what? 14 centimeter, right? So let's check this. Yeah, I'm right. Okay, so you have to find what, beta? The volume, right? The volume of the cylinder. So volume of cylinder is equals to what? Volume of cylinder is equals to what, beta? Pi r square of h, right? So it's 22 by 7 into r is what? 14 into 14 into 20, right? So you just cancel, this is 1 and this is 2. So this is 22 into 28 into 20, right? So you just multiply, this is like 440 into 28. So you get the answer is equals to what? 12320 centimeter cube. This is the answer you will get. Right. So this one is your volume after multiplication. So write it down these things. So just you have got one question to be practiced. So keep on practicing the more of your questions also, right? So practice as much as you can. Okay, and you have the solution. I think so. The answer is written in the decimals, right? So you just convert into the decimals, and otherwise you can leave the answers in the form of the surds also, right? So, class, if you have any doubt, please ask it on the PDF, or you can ask with your respective teacher in the class. Thank you so much and enjoy. Bye bye. Tata. Safe.